What's up, dreamers? I'm your host, Quintin.
I'm your host, Jason, and we're here to aspire to inspire. Today's episode 1, so just bear with us. Today, we're going to be talking about childhood inspirations, funny stories, and awkward moments.
Remember? It was that far ago?
Probably around the 8 or 9 range, maybe.
Yeah, so I was probably 9. It was probably the time where you should not be believing in Santa, and
Right.
The kids are going to start picking on you at school. And I wanted a guitar for Christmas, and my parents got the list and everything. I don't know what was screwed up, but yeah, I went in there to check the pile because I was thirsty and ended up going in there, seeing the piles and everything, eating the cookies for Santa, because I thought they were for Santa. I didn't know they were for my parents. And I put that guitar in my pile because it was in my brother's pile. And yeah, so the next morning, my brothers woke up and everything, and I woke up and we went in there to eat breakfast and open presents. And they pulled me in the room and were like, Santa doesn't exist. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? What are all these gifts here for? And they were like, yeah, we know you moved the guitar from your brother's pile to your pile. I was like, yeah, I literally started crying. I was like, yeah, Santa's not real. I'm not going to get any presents from now on. Yeah, it was pretty disappointing and kind of awkward. And that was like when I went from being a kid to a teenager, like pre-teenager. Like I was like, yeah, I'm an adult now. I don't believe in Santa anymore.
All over a guitar.
All over a guitar because I wanted to move it from guitar. I wanted to move it from my brother's pile to my pile. That was yeah. I like to pick on my brothers a lot, and I don't think my little brother asked for a guitar on this list, and somehow it ended up in his pile. So I was like, yeah, Santa just screwed up. So I was like, I'm just gonna move it to my pile, and everything will be fine.
Santa makes mistakes too, guys.
That was a little selfish. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I don't really have any like Christmas stories. I don't think. There was normal Christmases, but around Christmas time,
Did your parents wrap your presents?
Yeah.
I never had my presents wrapped.
I had a little kid recliner. I had that wrapped, so they were dedicated to wrapping stuff. That was for sure.
Oh, like one of the ones that I don't know if you saw the one that my kids got, a little cushiony recliner.
Yeah.
Or like a legit recliner.
It was a little cushiony recliner. But as a kid, just a whole lazy boy.
Yeah.
It's just encapsulated in wrapping paper.
Yeah.
No, but as a kid, everything seems bigger, So that little recliner felt huge, wrapped in wrapping paper. So,
yeah, that's commitment.
That is commitment.
Wrapping a chair. I can't even wrap a box.
I can't even.
I can't wrap a box.
I think it's a guy thing.
We should do that on here sometime. We should
see who can wrap a box better.
Yeah, see who can wrap a box better, and then get everyone to vote on it.
I think it's like a burrito.
That's gonna be a Christmas special.
Yes, it's gonna be a Christmas special.
Yeah, mine looks like there was one time. So I had a girlfriend. That was my first girlfriend. Legit girlfriend. That's the first girl I kissed, I think. I think I was like 15. And this is super embarrassing. But I didn't have any money.
I don't know. I mean, there are kids that have a lot of money.
No, this is really embarrassing.
Okay.
This is like I guarantee there's no one else in the world that's done this.
Okay.
And if they did, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got dumped the next day, or the week
over the Christmas present.
I'm pretty sure it was a Christmas present. She said it wasn't the Christmas present, but I'm pretty sure it was.
It's not you, it's me speech.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So, I had the idea. I was like innovative. I like to make things. So I got a bunch of toilet paper rolls out of the trash can, and I collected them for like a week. And I made a tree.
Wait, whose trash can? Like just random trash can?
I think it was my bathroom trash can.
Okay.
And I made a tree. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think I hung a piece of jewelry from it or something like that. And I wrapped it. And I gave it to her. And that's all I gave her. I didn't give her a card or anything. Just toilet paper rolls. in the shape of a tree, and it didn't look like a tree. But I thought it was cool. And yeah, I got dumped the week after that. That was pretty embarrassing.
You know what? She just didn't appreciate your creativity.
I know.
That's all it was.
Like, it's the thought that matters. It took me like 4 hours to make this tree out of toilet paper rolls. And I might have been younger at 15. I was smarter at 15. It was probably right after I found out about Santa, to be honest. Yeah, it was probably like 12. You know that weird age frame where you're just like, you think things are cool when they're not cool? Yeah.
Do you remember the Zune, the Microsoft Zune?
Yeah.
Everyone had
right before iPod, or
I think it was right after iPod. I could be wrong, but it was like iPod came out, and of course Microsoft had to have the answer, so they came out with the Zune. And I already had a Motorola Razr, so I had to stick with Motorola. I was always that kid. If I owned one company's product, like Nike, I had to have, the rest had to be Nike. I had the Zune. I was the only kid to ever have the Zune in high school.
That was like the cool thing. I remember.
Unless I'm wrong. And if y'all, everyone that went to high school with me, if you had a Zune, let me know. But I'm pretty sure I was the only one that had a Zune.
Yeah. Like if you had a Zune, I remember when you had a Zune, like those were the kids that you would want to be like. Like they were in the cool clique.
Yeah, you're like everyone else had this iPod. Yeah. The iPod Nano. I mean, Nano. iPod Nano.
The iPod Brick thing was the first one.
Was it? I remember when the Nano came out, and you just had to scroll.
Like
that. It was like as big as a Tic Tac thing. You just scrolled the little thing around.
First iPod. Yeah, and it had the games on it, the really cool games on it.
No, there was no screen.
Yeah, it did.
I know that. Okay, iPod did make. Apple did make.
Okay, a long time ago.
I mean, we're talking high school, brother. You're a little bit older than I am, and I remember this.
This is what I'm talking about. Like,
yes,
that thing. That's the Nano.
Nano, Jesus, Nano. Yeah, but see, I think Zune had a color display, and that's why I liked it.
Zune had I think that is right. Yeah.
Zune had a color display.
It was Microsoft that made it?
Yeah, it was around. You see that? It had
some kind of like baboon or something.
Zune.
MP3.
Z-U-N-E.
Z-U-N-E. Oh, there it is. That's not the first one, though.
The first one is, I think it's like that red one is the first one, because they came out with wild colors.
Like this one?
First Zune.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that one, and I loved it to death. I think I probably still have it somewhere. But it was in the competition with iPod, obviously. And I just liked the interface. It was a lot better interface for me. I don't know when I got mine. I don't know if it was Christmas or a birthday present whenever I got mine. I'm not sure. But
I remember they were expensive. They were like $300, $400.
Like $400, yeah.
For like 1 gig, maybe.
I think mine was 2.
2.
But 2 gigs was a lot back then. You remember having to download a song on YouTube just to listen to it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. But I don't know. My parents didn't have that much money.
I rode the bus as a kid, so I had to have something to do. I rode the bus since I was in kindergarten all the way up to like 10th or 11th grade. I rode the bus, and I had to have something to do. And it's fun to see your buddies at first on the bus, but in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, you just listen to music and go to sleep.
Face, dude. I'm trying to sleep a little bit longer. My mom woke me up. Didn't even cook me them Eggos. Eggo waffles. Those were my favorite.
The bus was fun. That did teach me a lot about life. That bus, because you had, I went on when I was in kindergarten, so I saw the 12th graders, 11th, 10th graders. So
in kindergarten, you saw the 12th graders?
Yeah, we all rode the same bus, brother.
Oh, we didn't. We were separate.
We all rode the same bus.
Kindergarten to like 4th grade on one, and then 7th to 8th grade on one, and then 9th to 12th. Like, we had 3 separate schools.
We had one school for K4, K5, all the way to 7th grade, and then 8th grade all the way to 12th grade at the high school. So, I mean, there was a lot of mixing of ages and cultures to say. Back whenever I was in high school, I think that also Josh is why. I think the lake would occasionally freeze where we lived. There was one year that it did freeze completely over, and it was like half an inch of ice because of that. I guess I would say. I think it was 2011 or 12. I knew we were still in high school, and the lake didn't freeze completely over, but it snowed a lot that year, and it was really cold, and the coves would freeze over, and the water was down because that's what our lake did. They would drain the water out. So there wasn't a lot of water to begin with, and had to be 2010. That seems about right, like 2010, 2011.
And what state is this in?
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
So our lake drains every year so we can do maintenance on the docks. And this year they drained the lake probably about 12 feet. So a lot of the coves would have probably about 15, 16 feet of water length.
Yeah.
Not depth. The width of the cove would be about that. And so we decided to take off running. So I said, hey Josh, let's run across this ice. I'll race you. So we start coming down this embankment, and we're running. And I get about 4 steps into this water, and I break through the ice. And I keep running, I get to the other side and look down, and I'm cut. I'm bleeding a lot. Well, I look back, and Josh hasn't even crossed the cove, first of all. That's neither here nor there. But, so, because I was in the Boy Scouts, I decided to lay down in the water because I knew that, less circulation, the better. I wouldn't bleed out. So I lay down in the water and kind of, stop the blood because now I'm probably like hypothermic at some level.
Yeah.
So then, like, his house wasn't, that far. It's probably 200 yards away. So we run up to his house and we use Gorilla Glue and electrical tape and basically just tape me back up, right?
Yeah.
And I had a scar from my leg all the way up to like my chest for probably a few months. We always did stupid stuff like that. My mom would be like, don't come home dirty or don't come home muddy, and
come home
I would do the exact opposite. I would be like, well,
that's how you learn. Like, I don't know, I feel like best parenting is like when you let them go out and get hurt. Like,
yeah,
I guarantee you didn't do it again.
No.
Or did you? You're just an idiot.
I always came home hurt. Like every week, something I would be bleeding, bruised, or thank God, knock on wood, I never broken anything as a kid.
Tried something different every week that was dangerous.
Yeah, we built a ramp off my dock for bicycles. We put the trampoline on the dock at one point. That thing fell apart mid jump, like the dang things were falling apart. So it fell into a lake ultimately. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I had a pretty adventurous childhood, I would say. Always, we lived out on the lake, so you were either on the lake or in the woods, essentially.
Yeah.
So, there was no staying inside watching TV or what a lot of people do now these days is they stay inside. So
it's because technology. I had an Atari when I was younger, and I remember N64 and the Super Nintendo started coming out and all that stuff, and that didn't come out till I was like,
how old are you?
27. You're just a little bit younger.
I'm 24. So
yeah, you had the Atari years, didn't you?
No, I had the GameCube years.
What?
Yeah, I had GameCube.
Yeah, I had N64, Mario Kart,
Nintendo DS. Like, we played the 64. Like, I never bought one, but I've had friends that had them. The PlayStation 1, Xbox. Yeah, like that was whenever I was old enough to start.
So you had there was that one game that was you had the little cars and everything, and you're going around shooting each other. Mini machines or something like that. Metal machine. I don't remember. It was a fun game. I think it was GameCube that had it. And I was like, I went over to a kid's house that was a little older than me, and his parents were loaded, and they had like everything you could think of. They had a huge TV. I mean, when I'm saying huge TV, it was one of those TVs that were literally like the size of this room. Like,
Yeah, because they had put so many bulbs
Yeah.
and tubes in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was, yeah, GameCube. That was when I was like in my teenage years. Atari and Nintendo 64 is when I was growing up, and they yeah.
All right, so here's an awkward moment for you. I think anyone can relate to this. Their first kiss.
Yeah.
I'll start off.
I don't even want to talk about mine. But
Well, you
guess
got
I'm
to.
gonna
We're
have
here
to.
now, so go ahead and swallow the rest of that, and this is roll on, brother.
Yeah, you go first.
I like laughing at myself. I like laughing at the past.
Yeah.
I think that's just the best way to learn. Let's see. My first kiss was under a boat. I don't remember how
Under a
old I-
boat in the water?
Yes. That sounds bad. It was docked. We weren't just driving down the lake. And I was like,
So you weren't under the water.
No, we.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so we were. It was just always cool to go into the boat. The water was like green. You could just echo.
Yeah.
You see the fish and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was where my first kiss was. It was a.
That's like something you see on Notebook.
It was a
though.
classic.
Mine-
It was like a. No, it was a classic Truth or Dare game. It was on a weekend. I remember
Yeah.
that. I don't know how old I was though. And it was just a peck. It wasn't like a kiss. It was like just a peck. But that was that's what I would. That was my first kiss essentially. It was just a little peck, and it was one of the Truth or Dare things.
Mine's gonna sound a little. Mine's gonna. I don't even want to talk about that.
You have to. You have to. You have to.
Yeah, mine was in a treehouse,
In a treehouse. Okay.
and I think we were trying to shoot squirrels or something with the BB gun.
I'm hoping you said you kissed a girl. Was
Yeah,
it
I
a
did.
girl?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah.
Me and Charlotte was up there shooting squirrels.
No. Yeah. I think it was. Yeah, it was at my house, and we were in a tree house, and yeah, I just went in for it, shooting shooting a squirrel. Like, there was a squirrel sitting there, like just eating a nut or something, and yeah, dropped the gun, went for it. It was horrible. I missed the first time.
The kiss?
Yeah, missed.
How do you miss? What do you mean? Did it like land on the cheek?
I pre-closed my eyes, and I was
Prematurely
I
closed my eyes.
Yeah, it was bad. That didn't last long. That was like,
But did y'all kiss? Was it a
I broke
success?
up with her like
Oh,
a week
okay.
after.
I used to do that.
Yeah, break up with girls. You used to break up with girls.
Not my proudest.
Yeah,
I think any first kiss is gonna be awkward, whether it's your first kiss overall or first kiss on a date. You know, like as
I know a guy that I went to college with that did not kiss anyone until he was married.
okay. Well, see, I went to
That's insane. That's
So-
insane. He purposely did that.
I went to Christian universities.
Yeah, I did too.
I know. So we both went to Christian uni-
And we're I was gonna say it.
All right.
See what that did to us?
See where this is going. This is going downhill fast. Went to Christian universities. We're drinking beer on our episode, and you know, I think any first kiss
All right,
is going to be awkward. So I think anytime you like, I think if you know the person, and then you go into the first kiss, like your friends, and then you start dating, and then go into your first kiss. I think it's less awkward than if you don't know the person and you just start becoming friends. Does that make sense? Like, let's say you move to college and you meet a girl, and 2 weeks into meeting her, you say, "Hey, let's go on a date." And like the second date, you try to kiss her. I think that's going to be more awkward than, let's say, you and your high school friends went to college.
Shoot,
You know what I'm saying?
I kissed him on the first date.
You're that guy.
Yeah, I'm that guy. Dude, I kissed so many girls in college. No, high school. I picked some really crappy people in high school.
think
I
we've
hope
all
they're
had
watching
that.
this.
Okay.
I picked some really crappy people.
And
I
our
guess I was a
viewers
crappy
were
person
at
too.
5. Now they're at 0.
Yeah. Yeah, I was that dude. I was, after that first miss.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss, then I was, my RBI was pretty high after that. Around the bases. Just saying. Hey.
I mean, you gotta peacock it sometimes, right? Hit me again, tube sock.
No, I remember this one time.
One time at band
at
camp.
band camp.
Oh God.
No, I'm just kidding.
Did you ever go to band camp?
No.
Did you know?
I played trumpet for 1 year.
I was so naive.
And I faked everything I did in band. Like, I could not play the trumpet to save my life. Like, I couldn't read sheet music or anything. We had to mandatorily take music, or what's it called? What they call it back then?
Music
class?
appreciation
Music ed
or something
like that. We had to play an instrument to graduate high school. I don't know why the heck they do that, because some people just can't play.
We never had to do that down here. Never had to do that.
Yeah. All right, so I had to play trumpet, and my parents invested in this really nice trumpet and everything, and I think they paid like $500 for this thing. And yeah, I did not take initiative in learning that, and I faked. I was like this, like faking everything. I couldn't even blow air through the freaking thing, because that hurts. Have you ever tried to play a trumpet?
Negative.
Everything goes numb up here. Like, all due respect for those people who can play trumpet. Like, you guys got some lips.
Yeah. I don't think people in high school that do extracurriculars like band get enough credit, because it is proven that if you know how to play an instrument, it can increase not your IQ, but the way that you learn and the speed that you learn at.
Yeah, but I just
because
didn't take initiative in
you're
learning.
firing off different pieces of your
I thought it was stupid.
brain. Well,
They didn't have guitar. If they had guitar, I'd learn guitar.
Guitar?
I can't keep.
We had a banjo down here.
A banjo?
Everyone just hated me for
That's how
saying
you know.
that.
That's how you know you're from the South.
From BFE.
Play a banjo.
BFE.
God. Banjo is freaking hard to play too. Because you play for all your, like, you don't have a pick or anything, right? You just
strung it, brother. You just strung all 3 chords.
There's only 3.
It's like 3 or 4
Kind of
chords
like a
on the
southern
banjo.
girl's teeth. 3 teeth. I'm just...
You got a pretty tooth.
You got a pretty tooth. I'm glad you have a tooth. My last girlfriend didn't have a tooth.
It was awful taking her to the ball game, watching her eat hot dogs. She was gunning it all the time. Anyway, so shout out to the people in band. I applaud thee.
Yeah. Hey, I'll go to band camp again.
Give y'all some credit for that.
I'd definitely go to band camp again.
I played soccer in high school. I ran track. Was my first like high school sport. 7th grade, ran track.
I surfed and played
I was
baseball.
garbage at it. Soccer, I was decent.
What'd you do at track? Did you run the...
I didn't run. I think I ran the mile and then like the half mile. But there's some jokers that can sprint a mile. So
Yeah, I can sprint.
I was like a 7-minute mile. I think my fastest mile was like
7 minutes is pretty good.
right under like 640s
I think average is 8.
something.
640 is like sprinting.
The average mile I think is like 7:12.
6 minutes is like running. If you can get like I had a guy in the military that was running like 5-minute miles. That dude, like, he was like freaking, like, he could just open his arms and the wind would carry him. Like,
Okay.
that's fast. 5-minute mile.
Well, isn't the quickest mile the fastest mile run was like 3 minutes?
That's fast.
I think. I mean, someone.
That dude had to have legitimately been running like a...
World fastest mile.
That's fast. I know. I started surfing because I was more of a swimmer.
3 minutes and 43 seconds
Jeez. That's so fast.
is the men's record holder.
That's double.
And then the women's record is 4 minutes and 12 seconds.
That's like legitimately double what I can run now. I can swim. I can swim good. I can't run.
Pretty sure they made a movie about the guy that ran the fastest mile.
It's not Bolt, is it?
No, this is some. I'm not even going to
Bolt's more of a
attempt.
sprinter. He's not a long distance runner, right? There's his name's Bolt, right? The guy
Usain Bolt. Yeah, he's a sprinter. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's the guy who runs around the tracks. He had a bunch of negative paparazzi on him at one point.
I'm sure they try to catch him like doping.
Yeah, that's what it was. He was doping.
There's a lot of people.
I think he did get caught.
I don't think he did. I don't think
You don't
Usain
think he
Bolt
did?
cheated. There have been people that have done it.
Like Michael Phelps. No, Michael Phelps got caught with weed.
Yeah, over at
If
USC.
anything, that's gonna slow you down. Like, I don't know.
I don't see why. Well, I guess I could see why that was probably an issue. He's an Olympic athlete out of college university smoking weed. Yeah.
So you ran the mile and a half.
I think. I could be completely wrong. I don't remember 7th grade. I did do a baton at one point. I remember practice somewhat.
I'd want to do the pole vaulting. That'd be fun.
We didn't have pole vaulting.
Y'all didn't have pole vaulting?
No.
We had a shot put. Those dudes
We had
big.
shot put. We had the high jump. We jump over the bar.
Oh, yeah.
We had long jump.
Yeah, we had a long jump with the sand pit in the middle.
We had all that. We didn't. Soccer's what I remember more.
Yeah.
That's fun. I love soccer.
Yeah. Who'd you look up to when you were in high school?
As like a
Like who inspired you to go where you did in life after high school or when you were a kid? Like, was it your parents or was it like? I mean, parents. Like, a lot of people say their parents, their dad, their mom.
Right.
And I can understand at some points. Some people don't have those people, and then some people, like, I don't know, parents like my dad was a plumber.
right.
Like, he even told me he didn't want me to be a plumber.
Yeah, but
He's like, hey, I want you to go to college. I want you to do something different. He was like, I don't want you to take over my company. I want you to go to school and pursue something different.
You gotta admit, plumbing is a very lucrative business.
Yeah. Like, it's never going to fail.
Right.
Robots are never going to be able to
People
do
are always gonna have water, septic.
that. And there's
issues.
always going to be issues. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Plumbing is one of the most successful construction companies that exist just because of the need.
Right.
That and road construction.
Oh yeah.
That's but it's hard.
I use my parents and family as guidance more so than
Yeah, that's what
an
I would say.
inspiration.
Inspiring is where you want to go.
Yeah, inspiring is for me. Whenever I say I've been inspired, it's someone that has gone through more
Yeah.
and has become greater than I'll ever be. That's my definition, for my personal definition of someone who's inspired me. And I think Greg Plitt was one of my inspirations. Just the simple fact of his mindset of, just grind it out.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go through a lot, but you can't give up.
Yeah.
He was an Army Ranger. I'm pretty sure he died of cancer. But his years, he died pretty young. But
Anyone that makes it to, like, I had an Army Ranger train me at the academy. I don't know if you had him. I had a guy who's named, he was Green Beret. Green Beret. But any special forces. Like, anyone that can get in the special forces, those dudes. Yeah.
I think Greg Plitt was my mindset motivation and my fitness motivation. Just simple because I wanted to get into just being, I guess I would say I want to be a bodybuilder. Just get a lot of muscle, stack it on. I just like to look. I like the process of, of bettering yourself. Weighing 100 pounds, putting in, pretty much a full-time job, working 40 hours a week on nutrition and working out.
Yeah.
And also developing the mindset of the pain, because a lot of people don't like pain. They don't like mental pain. They don't like physical pain.
Yeah.
The moment that someone feels pain, they immediately want to stop. Okay.
Yeah.
Or they're going to continue through that process knowing that pain's only temporary and it's going to make them better.
Yeah.
And that's where I started playing with my mental strength.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I started, because whenever I was 15, my dad passed away of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of turmoil in those years.
15's a hard year to lose someone too.
It is, because you're at that age where you're still developing mentally, you're still developing physically.
Yeah.
And
you can acknowledge what death is at that point.
Right. So you're very much so aware of what death is, and you're at that age where you just want to be young and explore and have fun.
Yeah.
And you don't. For me, I didn't understand what the process of grief was.
Yeah.
I don't think
literally the worst feeling.
I don't think I really experienced sadness and regret. Just the process of grief. I've never experienced that, and a lot of people still haven't. And the people that have can relate.
Yeah.
But that process is just it just feels like a ring of fire.
Yeah.
And so that led me up into bodybuilding, I would say, and just to strengthen me physically and mentally. And so I did that, pretty much until like 2015.
Yeah.
So that was my mental and like physical, when I seeked inspiration, I looked up Greg Plitt.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Steve Cook.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's a beast.
Just his story's pretty awesome too.
Yeah,
but,
he's just like a good person.
Right.
Like,
well, he used steroids. I get that, but we're talking. I'm talking on a mental level. His drive mentally.
Yeah.
Was crazy. Coming from Austria, coming over.
Yeah.
Being a bodybuilding champion, giving up, his, I would say, empire on bodybuilding in during those.
Legitimately, yeah.
It was like the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was undefeated. There's a lot of he cheated. I get that, but everyone used steroids back then, so it wasn't an uncommon thing.
Especially
that way.
WWE wrestlers, all like pretty much any athlete did at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
But so I went to them for the mental drive, my spiritual drive, and I want to be better, and like the overall quality of my life. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, E.T.
Yeah.
I still listen to all of them today. So we'll pick it up here in a minute.
Fun.
So I still, Greg Plitt obviously has passed away. Arnold isn't in the I would say the game anymore.
Yeah.
So
Arnold's still an inspiration. Like, he can be an inspiration.
He is, but whenever he would do speeches, he'd go to universities, and I would listen to those things. Eric Thomas is still doing his thing. He's going strong. He's building a empire, and I think everyone is okay with that. I'm sure he's. I'm not gonna. His story is incredible to begin with, but the way that he developed it, and then the way that he's using it, and it's just that's incredible. And I still use that every day. I listen to him every day.
Yeah.
So I think those are my inspirations growing up and to this day. Like I said, I use my parents and my family as a guide, bounce ideas off of them, get their input, talk to them, and see what they would advise. I think that's what family's there for. I think I think a lot of parents try to be their best, their child's friends. My mom, I think my dad was more of that type of parent. He was a friend and a parent, but my mom was more of the parent. And the main aspect, I spent most of my time with her, and it was her job to get me through high school, her job to make sure that I got a job out of high school if I wanted one, and not to ruin my life. So she was very hard on me, and she pushed me in her own way to be better. And I still try to make her proud.
Yeah.
So I use, that's where I'm guided off of. But as far as like my inspiration stuff, those are my people. What about you?
I don't know. My parents were. My dad's always going to be a huge inspiration. In a certain way, just kind of like what you were saying, more of what a person you would go to. And my dad's the person I would go to talk about his failures, what he wished he could have done. why he couldn't do it. Because my parents just got divorced 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. Right as me and my wife were getting married, which was rough. Kind of something I was looking at was my parents' marriage, and I went through a lot as a kid. A lot of neglect and abuse and stuff towards me. Not only my dad, my mom had a lot of anxiety issues and stuff, and quit taking her medications cold turkey, and that just doesn't do well with anyone. And it just started getting taken out on me, and I had to look at everything at that way. So I don't really look at them as inspirations, and not as failures either, but something
Right.
I don't want to go down that road as. So I do have something to look at and compare things to help me guide myself, my marriage, my life through, to help my commitment with things. But my dad's inspiration was Dale Earnhardt, and he died like 2001, 2002, something like that. Just because of how he died in Daytona. I know that. Daytona 500. I think he died on that. Anyways, he's like one of the greatest. He's literally when you think of NASCAR, you think of Dale Earnhardt, Tom Petty, like those people. I'm not a huge NASCAR fan or anything. My dad was. But I looked at his inspiration, and I looked at why that guy was his inspiration.
The Intimidator.
Yeah, the Intimidator. He's got all kinds of... I think Carowinds in North Carolina has a ride for him.
2001 Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, 2001. So, that was my dad's inspiration. Like, he had everything Dale Earnhardt. And it wasn't just because he was in NASCAR. My dad really did not watch NASCAR until he started following Dale Earnhardt. And, when all that started happening in my childhood, I started looking elsewhere. I started trying to find it in friends. I started trying to find it in drugs and alcohol and all that kind of stuff. And got through a bunch of depression, bunch of anxiety, bunch of mental breakdowns and all that kind of stuff. Trying to find different friends, trying to find the right friends, surrounding myself with the wrong people. And then, I just basically kind of reset myself in a way. Like,
I've been there. Yeah.
Like, I knew at one point, like, I had to reset myself or I was going to kill myself. Like, at that point. Like, that's when I started having the military drive, I want to go to college, succeed through college, all that stuff. I want to do something great so I can eventually have kids and that kid can look up to me for something. So I started looking at people. I followed Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson through WWE, what he's been through, his parents, his mom trying to commit suicide, coming from nothing to being literally one of the most famous people in the world.
Right.
And not just him, but other people too. Like I've looked at I'm trying to think of one of my big inspirations when I was a kid. Like Derek Jeter was one of mine from the Yankees. I'm not a huge Yankees fan. I'm not a huge baseball fan at all. But Derek Jeter in general, from what he did in baseball, like he was just a good guy. I've met him in person. He was a cool guy. He took time out of his day, like literally in the middle of practice, come talk to me one time when I went to a practice field in Tampa, because they practiced out in Tampa, Florida, and that was really cool. But those are probably my two. And Kelly Slater's a cool guy, because I surfed competitively. I didn't do the original sports growing up. I surfed and I played baseball. I hated baseball, but I did it because my parents kind of forced me to and wanted me to. And I got burnt out from dad cussing me out all the time, that kind of stuff. So went to and cussing the ref out, getting kicked out of games, all like a bunch of drama. It was kind of funny looking back at it now. Like, it was kind of cool, but yeah, I got tired of it. I was like, I want to do something else. So I started surfing. And, like, when you're surfing competitively, you're out in the ocean. You can't hear people talking to you. Then I got tired of that because I hated competing. So I surf now just for pleasure. Like, just go out and surf. Haven't been in a couple months now. Probably 4 months, but...
We're a little far away from the ocean now.
Yeah, I know, that's what sucks.
5 hours
when I was in the
away.
Coast Guard, it worked because I was on the coast all the time. So yeah, those are probably 3: Kelly Slater, Derek Jeter, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Just from what every single one of them did and came from. Kelly Slater, for example, came from the East Coast, and East Coast surfers, most of the time, 90% of the time, do not make it into the professional surfing market, and he did, and he's now the biggest surfer, one of the biggest surfers, arguably the biggest surfer in the world. There's a lot of other ones. There's big wave surfers. There's a lot of different stuff you can think of, but he's a cool guy. I met him in Hawaii when I was stationed over there. Met Dwayne The Rock Johnson when I was filming on Jungle Cruise because I landed a role over there, and he was actually, like, my perception of what The Rock would be, meeting him in person, was totally different after I met him in person. Like, probably the first 2 minutes I was starstruck, like, yo, this is The Rock right here. This is like what everyone's talking about. But then literally after like 2 minutes, I thought I was just talking to a normal person on the street. Like, he's so down to heart, so personable, so real that, like, he doesn't hide anything. He's one of the reasons I'm trying to be something that I'm not yet. Like, I know that I can get somewhere just from looking at what he is, just by being real. A lot of the people that you talk to that are somewhere are not gonna seem real. They won't open up.
What about like a favorite artist, like a musician? For me, mine's Logic. Sir Robert Hall is his actual name.
Yeah, I know who Logic
Speaking
is.
of stories, he has a cool one. He has a pretty cool story, and his music, like, I just thrive off of what he puts out.
Yeah.
So what about, like, for me, music is definitely another way for me to get away.
Music's like one of the best ways.
Get in my head and try to sort things out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Music's like one of the best ways to put your mind somewhere else. Like, it's easier than looking at something, watching something on TV. Like, music.
Or reading something. I don't read books. I just read like paragraphs or like certain parts of the book.
Reading's hard. Like, some people, I understand, they can put themselves in other worlds and stuff like that by reading something. But I can't do that. I have to see it or hear it. But probably not gonna be Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper, really?
Yeah. Just because of, I had a friend I was growing up with, and and I want to have him on here, probably in the next couple months, and I've talked to him already, and he's agreed. So, he's been working literally. He's probably one of the hardest workers I went to school with.
What's Chance the Rapper's real name?
I don't know.
Also, our battery on our camera.
Yeah, you can look at that. He's this guy that I go to school with. He's been working so hard for this. He's one of the hardest working people I know that I went to high school with.
I like Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, especially from my high school. Hunter Dow.
Chancellor Jonathan Bennett, known professionally as Chance the Rapper. That's pretty cool. Chancellor? That's his name? What? Yeah. Chancellor? Dang.
But did you know he put all of his music on iTunes for free for probably up to the last 2 years, just so people could afford it?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he only got paid from his record company, I think. He didn't get paid for the music. Yeah, those would probably be my 3. Chance the Rapper, just because of, like, how he sees people in his eyes. Like, he doesn't see himself. There's, like, someone, like, I don't look up to is, like, Drake, or some of those guys, or big bands that just, put stuff out for the money
Right.
that Chance the Rapper putting out for free. The
That's
Rock
the way-
giving the charities. That's those are probably my three. Yeah, that's I mean, getting to now where I am, like I've been through the military, I've seen a lot of the world that I wouldn't have seen. I think that what I've aimed for in life was over the top, but it's got me to where I am today. Who knows where it's going to go from here on out? Like,
Right.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. And your journey's still going.
Yeah.
You know? Both of ours is still going.
Yep.
You know, I'm going to be working with nonprofit in the next month or so.
Yeah.
Working with United Way, working with Meals on Wheels. It's going to be awesome.
Mhm.
I love being able to give back because people poured into me, and so now it's my turn to be able to pour into other people.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my calling, and I think that everyone should do like a good deed daily.
Yeah.
I don't think you should brag about it. I don't think you should do it for the fact. It's really hard to explain helping people in my head. For some reason, I struggle with just being able to explain. Some people can just talk about it, just talk about nonprofit work and just helping people. They can put it in perfect words. I cannot do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to help people because I want to help people. Well, elaborate on that. I don't know any. You know, I think, you know, holding the door, buying someone a cup of coffee, helping someone, you know, push their car out of the road.
Yeah.
Being safe about it, obviously, you know, you don't want to fall into a scam or a bad situation, but just, you know, if you feel good about helping somebody, I think, you know, you should, you know, go out of your way a little bit and just do a good deed daily. That's something that I've always strived to do. I did that whenever I was in college, and I always tried to find the service communities, and I was pretty successful, I think. Being able to give back to people that their only way to give back to you is just to say thank you and a hug is more meaningful than anything. And that's where I'm planning on taking my next steps in my life, is to go pursue that. Pursue helping people, pursue giving back to the communities, giving back to people. And I think I would love to have those people on this show. You know, have the have someone from United Way, have someone from local nonprofits in Anderson or Greenville come down and just you know, we give them a little bit of time to talk, because I don't feel like they don't get enough of that. Yeah. And a lot of people don't know about a lot of these places. Yeah. And some people, you know, a lot of people do want to help, but they don't know where to go and they don't know how to do it. And I think giving them that exposure would be pretty cool too. So that's where I want to be in a few months or the year next year. Cool. So
yeah, it'd be cool. So yeah, guys, this has been real.
Episode 1. Hopefully, it's not too cringy. It's going to be cringy, but bear with us.
Yeah, we'll get there. We just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about us, some real moments, some awkward moments, some stuff we didn't want to talk about.
Places where we want to go, where we plan on taking this. This isn't going to be just another podcast or another just YouTube show. We do plan on taking this somewhere. This is a project that we're trying to launch. A project that we're not going to give up on. We're pretty passionate about. So y'all stick in there with us. Y'all give us y'all's love and support.
We're gonna
give us your feedback. Yeah. We definitely want feedback.
We're gonna be real with you. We're gonna be real people. We're not gonna talk to you guys like
it's not gonna be scripted.
We know everything. We're not gonna script anything. We're just gonna talk, and you guys give us recommendations. Shoot us some recommendations in the comments when we post this, and we can talk about some of the stuff you guys talk about. The more followers we get, the more people who actually support us and talk about us and talk about things that they want to hear, we're going to talk about it.
Comment, like, and subscribe.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been real. Thanks for tuning in to Dream Stream Podcast. I'm Quintin.
I'm Jason. And do your good deed daily.
Yeah. Have a good day. Have a good rest of the...
I don't know. Just have a good one. I don't know how to close this thing out.